It's one of those dishes that we've had on the restaurant since day one. Ken and I never get sick of it. It's kind of like stoner food, you know? Hey, I'm Jamie Bissonnette, and today I'm gonna teach you how to make a summer Valenciana paella. The most important part is the pan. You gotta use something nice, heavy bottom. It's gonna hold the heat really well so you can develop that beautiful socarrat. The next most important part is the rice. You gotta have the right rice. If you don't have calaspara or bomba rice, you can't make paella. If you've got long grain rice, make rice pilaf. If you've got arborio or carnoli rice, make risotto. Don't try to change it. You don't have to use this much stuff. Over the years, you're gonna be able to riff on it. You can do whatever you want, but first you've gotta learn the basics. This is one of my favorite things to make. I think whenever I travel, I go to a friend's house, I bring a paella pan with me. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna leave this here, so next time I'm back, I can make paella again. We're gonna start off with a nice extra virgin olive oil. We wanna coat the entire bottom of the pan. If you have a yard, outside, on a grill, fire. And we're gonna throw our chorizo in now while it's still cold. I wish you could smell it. I can smell it already, it smells awesome. So now we're going to add our pre-cooked onion. Add our peppers, the scallion bottoms, our garlic and ramps, and our torpedo onions. After you add the onions, we want to start with our seasoning. Seasoning as you go. We just want to cook until the torpedo onions and the scallion greens are just a little bit tender. Whenever I cook paella at home, I start off with probably like twice as much chorizo as I need, because as I'm cooking, I'm continually checking the seasoning, which I really don't need to do till later. I'm eating the chorizo because it's the best part. Next, we're gonna add our chicken thighs, but we wanna season those aside from the paella. Season high so it falls like snow. If you get it all over your table and all over the floor, you're probably doing it right. We're gonna slide the chicken in, and we just wanna coat the chicken with that fat. As it's cooking, we wanna scrape down the sides. You know, we wanna get that controlled scorch in the bottom, the socarrat, that burned rice, but we don't want the outside to burn, because then it just tastes terrible. Next, we're gonna add our saffron. Again, just a pinch of saffron, and then the sofrito. So if you don't have sofrito at home and you wanna just use a little tomato paste, you totally can. Everything is popping, it's still kind of sauteing in that fat that rendered out and all that olive oil. So we're just gonna scatter the rice all over the pan. Once I add the rice, I find it crucial to season again and then mix to coat the rice with all of the fat. Remember, 4 to 1. If you've got 1 cup of rice, you're gonna need 4 cups of liquid. Once you add the liquid, you can't stir it. Stirring a paella makes it gummy. You wanna add a little bit more salt. As soon as the liquid comes to a simmer, that's when I like to add my clams. I don't like my clams to be medium rare. I like them to cook a little bit in the liquid. Just wanna make sure that you're moving the paella around your hot spot, spinning it so it controls how much caramelization there is in the bottom of your pan. One thing with the hot spot, if a clam opens, you wanna dump out the rice that's in it and you wanna move it to the sides. Now we're gonna add some of our turnips from the farmer's market. Just kind of scatter them around everywhere. We're adding the asparagus. The smell, the feel, the sound, obviously the taste, but that sound, hearing the rice bubble away, and I can tell that it's starting to stick from years of making this paella. As soon as all the clams open, it's generally a good indication for me it's time to add the mussels, and depending upon what kind of shrimp. These are beautiful red carabineros from Galicia. We want these to cook through the heads. We want some of that liquid to pop out of it, and it's got the shell around it to protect it. So we can add that now to cook. If you add a big shrimp like this, remember to flip it. Since you don't want to stir it, one thing that's helpful is to shake it. Heat is your friend. Do not be afraid to go high. Cook fast. Do not be afraid to drive 75. So now our paella is pretty close to the end. We want to add the vegetables that we want to have remain a little al dente. Here we go. Best way to finish it, a little bit of the green scallion top. Nice Arbequina extra virgin olive oil, nice and generous. Now you want to let it rest. You want to let it cool off for about 5 or 10 minutes. And when you go to scoop it up, I like to make sure we get a little bit of everything, a clam, a mussel. I'm going to take my carabinero. As you can see now, that beautiful socarrat. It's best to take a metal spoon and you just kind of want to scrape. Don't be afraid of this. When you come into the restaurant, that's not burned. Try it, I promise you. It's like the best little crispy piece of socarrat that you could ever have. It's my favorite part of this paella. Bon appetit.